And thanks for staying with us here on Breakfast Central. The Coalition for United Political Parties, CUPP, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to stop the use of intimidating tactics to silence the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and other Nigerians from demanding good governance. CUPP further urged President Tinubu to instead commence the immediate fulfillment of the agreements reached with the NLC to alleviate the suffering of Nigerian workers as the citizens made a way through the draconian policies of the current administration.
The National Secretary of CUPP, Chief Peter Ameh, made the remarks while reacting to the position of Tinubu over the recent peaceful protest organized by the leadership of the Labour Union following the current hardship occasioned by the removal of the fuel subsidy and other policies of the administration. CUPP said Tinubu was not fair to Nigerians given their current plight and suffering, especially workers and other vulnerable people who are on the receiving end of its policies that were not well thought out before the commencement and execution. Joining us this morning is Comrade Mark Adebayo, the national spokesperson, Coalition for United Political Parties, CUPP. Good morning, Mr. Adebayo. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me. Good morning, viewers.
All right. At the last speech, of course, the speech that was being referred to when the reel was being launched, President Tinubu did talk about how calling for a protest after 9 months in office is unacceptable. And you obviously have different thoughts about that. Please share these thoughts with us.
Okay. The president, the action and the speeches of the president are tantamount to abandoning leprosy and trying to treat eczema, and that is counterproductive to any national development. When you cannot, by whatever means or sense or reasoning, say that people cannot protest against bad policies and bad economy and hardship and hunger in the land. There is no, this is a democracy. I mean, at least we are operating a civil rule. You cannot say that people cannot, under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 has amended, the people, Nigerians, the citizens are given the right for lawful assembly and lawful protest in demand of their constitutional right for good governance, for a good economy, for a better life. Nigerians, we have a right under the law, under the Constitution, to make such demands and to protest. So the subtle blackmail of the president by trying to, hamstring labor into saying that they cannot protest. No, not even this president should be talking about that, because he was in the forefront of the protest against the military, of the protest against the government of Jonathan on so many issues and policies that the then ACN and AC deemed not favorable to Nigerians. Now, if you could be, even the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, protested in this Abuja that, against the policies that they deemed, unfavorable to the people or to their own segment at that time. You cannot now be president and now say, because as a pro-democracy activist yourself, who was run out of this country by military jackboot, and then you continue fighting outside. You were a human rights activist, you were a pro-democracy activist, you sponsored protests, you sponsored even riots and everything. And then, until we were able, until we were able to get the military out of power, and then democracy, civil rule was instituted. Now you became president and now saying that people cannot protest. No, it is unfair, it is unjust, and it shouldn't be coming from the president.
Just to clarify, it would seem that I don't know, but many people would interpret that what the president meant would be that 9 months might be too early, as they would need more time, not sort of trying to stifle people's rights to protest, but saying that he would need more time. So from your perspective, how much time will be enough time before people can then finally explore their right to protest?
Yeah, the issue is this: how much time will be enough for people to be hungry, for people to be unemployed, for people to be repressed and oppressed by terrible economic policies of the government? For how long are we going? 9 months, I think the president should realize that some people have died because of his bad policies. Some people have lost their jobs because of the bad policies. Some people have lost their businesses because of his bad policies. So for 9 months is more than enough for any government to make an impact that is beneficial to the generality of Nigerians. So we cannot say, the timeline of give me more time. I mean, the president said clearly that he was ready for this job, that he applied for the job, that he was ready for the job, and that he should not even be pitied, that Nigerians should hold him accountable. He said so by himself. And now, when Labour and other civil society organizations like the Joint Action Front, JAF, are now hitting the streets and demanding for those rights and demanding for better life for Nigerians, you are saying that 9 months is too short. No, I don't believe it is too short. You see, why Nigerians why we can no longer wait and say maybe for another 4 years or so. No. It's not possible for Nigerians to. The people in government are not feeling the heat. The people in government are not feeling the suffering. The people in government are not hungry. They and their family and their children, they are not hungry as Nigerians are hungry. So they can feel comfortable and say, oh, give us more time, give us more time. That was what in the 80s. In the 80s, from 1979 to 1983, this was the same thing that President Shagari then told us. Now they first came with their policy of green revolution. Now they came with austerity measure, saying that, oh, we will suffer now, we enjoy it later. Throughout his government, Nigerians suffered. Then came Babangida with his SAP, Structural Adjustment Program. Then people started shouting and crying. Inflation was at the highest level, and the prices skyrocketed. There was no jobs. There was job losses and a lot of this. Babangida said SAP was for the benefit of Nigerians, that we should calm down. I was a student then. I was part of the people that led the anti-SAP riots during the Babangida regime. Now, the promises of SAP never materialized. We suffered throughout his regime. Now, if austerity measure did not work, if SAP did not work, you claim. And the same thing now, they have removed subsidy. And now we are being told that, no, hey, if you suffer now, you enjoy it later. So no, once bitten, twice shy. We can no longer buy that lie. We cannot buy that falsehood. We cannot buy such, such Jankara economic policies, hoping that we suffer today and enjoy tomorrow. All the promises of yesteryear never materialized. So they cannot come with the same policy, with the same approach now. And you expect Nigerians to be patient. No, 9 months is more than enough for anybody to make, critical impact in a way that will benefit the people. So, but you see, within the first 1 hour, and I don't know how history will interpret the presidency of, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because in less than 1 hour, in fact, within 10 minutes of his taking over as president of Nigeria, we entered into this terrible economic situation. Who does that? If I were he, at least I will allow Nigerians to enjoy his government for like a month. It just announced subsidy is gone. And from that day till now, we have never recovered. They said it will get better as we are going, but it's getting worse. The naira is plummeting, prices are skyrocketing, the inflation is exploding, and insecurity is imploding. And there's generally, I cannot see where, what the current administration has been doing is trial by error policies. Let's float the naira. Let us remove subsidy. Let us do this. Let us do that. All these things, if you don't come into presidency with trial and error, you must have concrete policies that will benefit the people. And any economic policy that does not impact directly positively on the lives of the citizens, it is an undesirable economic policy. Undesirable. So we have seen now, some of us too, because I was also part of the people that supported the issue of subsidy removal, because the government promised there would be palliatives and the rest of that. But you don't remove subsidy without first giving the palliatives and building conditions around the people that will make them, that will make us not feel the negative impact of subsidy removal. You went, because subsidy removal is a collective punishment of Nigerians for the evil and the sins and the wickedness and the crimes of the elite that are less than 0.5% of the population of Nigeria. Of Nigeria. Now, they are the ones who are stealing the subsidy. They are the ones who are lying about the subsidy. They are the ones who are responsible for the humongous corruption around the subsidy. You know them. You have identified them. Why not go after them rather than punishing Nigerians for the sins of the very few people? That is the major problem of the subsidy removal. And majorly too is the fact that you do not remove subsidy without first cushioning its effect. But you now remove the subsidy up to now, 9 months after, we are yet to see the palliatives.
All right,
we are yet to see. And all these staggered policies, all these staccato movements and the fire brigade approach cannot help our economy, cannot help our country.
Mr.
That's what we are saying.
All right, Mr. Adebayo, we get your point in line with what you've said concerning subsidy removal. That statement made shouldn't have been made. Possibly a month should have been given before making that statement, at least to enjoy the government. But may I ask, before the president indeed came to office, CUPP had highlighted key areas they wanted the president to focus on. Looking at the fact that you were also outspoken during President Buhari's time, stating some of the errors that were made, and then the president, currently President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, came in and you also put a detailed note to him stating what he needs to work on. Do you think that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the power, will be able to indeed change the tide, especially looking at from where we're coming from President Buhari's administration to the new administration? Is there trust in the renewed hope, especially from CUPP?
If you look at that document, the renewed hope document of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what a wonderful document. But we are not seeing the implementation. Because, Nigerians will feel the positive impact of his renewed hope if food is affordable, if energy is affordable and available, if there is security, if there is employment, if there is peace in the land. So nothing that this government has done that we have seen any impact directly impacting on the people positively. That is why from the north to the west, to the south, to the east, you are seeing all these protests against hunger. People say they are hungry. People are hungry. And when people are hungry, you cannot tell them to be quiet. The president, even if you look at his doing his campaigns and everything, look at the eloquent way he was speaking about how he's going to tackle the economy, insecurity, and all the rest of the challenges, the myriads of challenges of Nigeria. Now he's in government now. He's looking more clueless by the day. He's looking more clueless by the day. So, and then you now say people should not protest, people should not complain. No, we will complain, we will protest, because Labour and the opposition are for the interest of the people. And you see, in cushioning the effect of the subsidy removal, if, assuming without considering that it was even necessary in the first instance to remove the subsidy the way he did, even today, it's not too late if the government is not clueless, if the government knows its onions and understands the economic indices and the social indices of its policies and be able to ameliorate the negative effects of subsidy removal. It's not rocket science. For instance, like we have suggested to the president, instead of saying, let's go and give people grain, let's give them conditional cash transfer that they cancelled and say they are now reverting to. We is going to give opportunity for people to corruptly enrich themselves, or like under Buhari, where billions of naira will disappear, and there will be a claim that those monies have been given to Nigerians, when maybe less than 1% of the target group will collect any money from government. You don't do cash handouts as an economic policy. For instance, if number one, give all the from federal government is higher institutions, colleges of education, polytechnics, universities, secondary schools, and the rest of that, and then state-owned universities and other institutions. Give the students like 2-year tuition holiday, that no student should pay tuition for the next 2 years. That is a direct palliative to the parents, and to give, it is something that will impact positively. I would say no student, no pupil will pay for the next 2-3 years. So that's direct palliative to the people. That is direct palliative to the people. You don't say we give them, because don't give any allowance for corruption. So if you want to, now if you say the policy cannot subsidy cannot be returned fully, because already we are hearing now, I mean, that the government has to pay minimum of 1 trillion naira per month for subsidy now that is removed. Because if they hadn't done that, because of the kind of the way prices of fuel is increasing in the international market, maybe we'll have been buying fuel 2,000 naira per liter now. Now, there are things you can do that will directly impact the people that they will praise your government. If you support the parents, if you support the people in the area of education of their children, everybody will be happy about that. If you support the people in the area of Medicare, that's direct impact on the people. If you support the people in the area of finding the means to crash the prices of foods, of foodstuffs, it is a direct. You don't need, Nigerians are hardworking. They don't need you to give them handouts, give them 1 Congo of rice, 1 Congo of garlic. No, they don't need that. You crash. Let me do, implement policies that can bring down the prices of food in the market. Nigerians will go and buy. But a situation whereby what we used to buy for 5,000 is now being sold for 65,000 naira. How do you expect Nigerians to cope? Especially the poor Nigerians, the multi-dimensionally poor Nigerians, that are per day, repressed and oppressed by bad policies of government. Not even with this government that has started from post-independence era till now.
All right,
nothing
Mr. Adebayo
improves in this country. All right, that's what we are saying. You cannot say we should not talk.
Mr. Adebayo, I mean, we thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. However, we'd just like you to hold on, as we'd like to ask one more question, which has to do with the trip to Qatar. We do know that CUPP has actually been outspoken concerning the 2 children of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu who have joined him on that trip, making a total of 38 delegates, including some of the governors. The children talking about Sheyi and, of course, Yemi Tinubu. But before you respond to that, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'd like to get your thoughts finally on that. So please stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Breakfast Central. We'll still have with us the National Spokesperson Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, Mr. Mark Adebayo. Mr. Adebayo, right before the break, we did ask the question, which is indeed, has seen CUPP react to the fact that the president did go to Qatar with 2 of his children, in line with the Rosaya report, which was mentioned that there will be a lot of cut in governance, especially when it comes to spending. CUPP did react to that. What's your thought, especially looking at the president's trip to Qatar and the involvement of his family members?
Well, thank you so much. That shows, that tells you the contradiction between policy announcement and policy implementation. If you say you are cutting down on the size of government and then a delegation and the rest of that, then you put your 2 children. You see, it's these people in government are alien. They are alien to the people. They are too far removed. They are too far removed from the sensibilities and interests of the people for them to even care about our feelings, to care about our welfare or anything. Because I want to know in what capacity are those people, are those 2 children following him to Qatar? To what extent? What part of government are they? What parastatal do they represent? What agency of government do they represent? I mean, he is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not the president of his family. And then, the other time, almost within a month that he came in, we read in the papers how his son, flew the presidential jet, I think to Kano with his friends and the rest of that. So, can you imagine? Are we this frightful in this country that people do not, even who are in government, do not know what is even more important for them? Now, I think the question President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should ask himself is that, how do I want to be remembered by Nigerians? How does he want history to remember him? How does he want posterity to remember him? What will he be remembered for? Insecurity? Will he be remembered for hunger? Will he be remembered for unemployment and job losses and business collapses and naira going to 5,000? What does he want to be remembered for? I think the day he asks himself that question, and genuinely, answers himself that question, maybe you begin to do things better. For now, even some of us who are in the opposition had better hope, had greater hope, and believe that this man will do far better than he's doing now. Even in the opposition, we believe that he will do far better than Buhari. Now, what are we seeing? Is even, things are getting, you see, you cannot, like I said, you cannot be giving us promissory notes. Let's suffer now and enjoy it later. We've been hearing that since the 60s and 70s and 80s. It never materialized. So you cannot bring that one now. Whatever you are going to do that will make the people enjoy as Nigerians, as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to have affordable food, affordable healthcare, affordable education, affordable security and everything. That is what his government should concentrate on. It is not about this gallivanting all over the place with your children and the rest of that. Of what impact would that be? He should tell us what those children are following to go and do in that place. Will the president say he does not have enough aids to take care of whatever that needs to be taken care of? So why carry on? You see, it is insensibility to the plight of Nigerians for him to do what he did. You said we are cutting down the number of entourage to any international engagement and the rest of that. Now, you now added your own 2 children to that trip. These are people on their own who could afford it. If they wanted to go to Qatar for whatever reasons, they could afford it on their own. The first lady told us during the campaign that, look, his family has been blessed, they are rich, and that they are not coming to lose Nigerian economy. Oh, so well and good. But why? What have those children going to do? On whose bill? It's a Nigerian bill. Nigeria will foot the bill for their traveling, for their accommodation, for their feeding. Only God knows whether they will also get a stack like other government officials. So this is not the time to be gallivanting all over the globe with your family members. This is the time for you to show Nigerians that you are determined, you are serious about revamping Nigeria's economy, about revamping Nigeria's development, and about returning Nigeria, bringing Nigeria to the path of progress. You need to show Nigerians by example that, look, the president has been saying that, I feel your suffering, I understand your hardship and the rest of that. I wish there had been other ways I would have. Now, you also need to identify with the people suffering an hardship by example. Not by these things infuriate Nigerians because they see it as if this man really is it all his government is all about his family and friends and parties and party members. It shouldn't be so. I believe you asked about whether he has power or capacity. Look, I believe that if the president wants to do well, he will do well. But I think there's no political will on his part and his team. And it's even surprising that there are some economic experts in this government that we believe that with them in government, things will do better. But it's like completely, they have lost it. They don't understand what they are doing. Naira is not coming down. Everything is going higher and higher and higher. And then the hardship is increasing and the economy is being, pummeled by the day. The other day, Nigerians took into their hands to feed themselves. They were hungry. They went and looted the warehouse of the FCT. Started away millions, if not billions, worth of food items. What are those items doing there? Why didn't you release them earlier to the people for them to benefit? So the people said, okay, this is our thing, this is our money, this is our food, and they went there and took what belonged to them. Simple as ABC. I do not support disorderly behavior or mob mentality. We are not promoting that as CUPP, but the fact remains that you cannot oppress and repress the people and not giving them what they want and then ask them not to take it by force. They will take it. That is it. And I just want to, CUPP would like to encourage the president that, look, let Labour do their Labour thing. Let human rights activists do their activism thing. Let opposition be opposition. Do not interfere in a way as to say that people should keep quiet when your policies are not working well for the people. No, we will not keep quiet. We will continue to be on the street until things change, because we are for the interest of Nigerians, and we stand by our press releases, our press statements, that the president currently is not doing well and he needs to improve, and that when he begins to do well, we will continue. We will support him. Opposition does not mean that we should throw the baby away with the bathwater. If he's doing well, if his policies begin to impact positively on the part of Nigerians, even few people will clap for him. So
All right.
it is about Nigeria. It is not about politics. It is about Nigeria and Nigerians and our collective interest as a people for us to move forward as a nation.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Adebayo, for joining us. It's been a very meaty conversation, and we've gotten a feel of what CUPP, which is the Coalition of United Political Parties, feel about the current administration so far. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. And because your station, News Central has been a major bastion of hope for the masses of this country, a voice for the voiceless. You always bring, these causes and issues surrounding the welfare of the people and the security and the peace and progress of Nigeria. And to that extent, your television station is pro-people, is pro-masses. And we can only encourage you to keep it up.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.